singing for my supper. I'm above the below and below the upper. I'm stuck in the middle where money gets tight, but I guess I'm doing alright. I'm alright. It's a beautiful day, not a cloud in sight.
You're listening to Alive and Well. I'm Tracey Gold, and I'm here with Janice Murray on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. And we are here today with Crystal Lacey Edwards talking about exercise and the importance of it and how it can make us live longer and be healthier.
Absolutely.
And feel better.
And feel better.
And feel better. Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely one of those things that you want to do. Keep moving. The more we move, from stretching to running to just movement, just all around movement. You know, you're hearing a lot of the buzzwords are things like corrective exercise. So people have, you know, because we're always trying to, our bodies try to stay in homeostasis.
Mm-hmm.
Homeostasis is the body's desire to be in balance, whether it's a muscle from the tricep to the bicep or from side to side, left to right type of thing. So there's a lot of things about corrective exercise and things like that. So there's just things that keep us moving longer and keep us feeling better. And that's kind of the goal. We know about the heart disease. We know about, you know, with weight-bearing exercise like running or walking, not necessarily swimming, but things that you're on your bone structure moving. Zumba dance would be, aerobic dance, that kind of stuff. It helps with our bones, keeping them strong. So I think that's out there and people understand that, at least to an
Right.
extent. But it also helps with things like diabetes. Diabetes is on the rise, the Alzheimer's is on the rise, that kind of stuff. So a while ago we talked about what's good for the heart could be good for the brain,
Sure.
Right.
but it's also good for your resistance of diabetes. That's one of the things we also want to do. You know, you hear people say, oh, my doctor told me I need to lose weight so I don't get diabetes.
And you did mention that California has one of the higher incidents of obesity.
Well, it's hit with the rest of the states. It used to be pretty low compared to the other states. Now it's kind of creeping up there. Yeah, it's not as low as it
gonna
used to
we
be.
have no
so you're going
excuse
to
for.
see more
So,
incidents
yeah,
of
we have,
diabetes
yes,
if you're not managing
yes,
your weight.
and we have no need for it. And one of the guys that I like, diabetes is a huge mystery to me, and
Right.
I
And
think
it's
the
an
reason,
awful disease.
oh, it's horrible.
It's horrible.
I think one of the reasons it's such a mystery to me is, one, it's dealing with the hormone system, and two is the fact that it just leads to so many other
things, yeah.
right? Well, there's a guy, and his name is Tim Church, and he is actually a professor of preventative medicine in the Pennington Biomedical Research Center at LSU. And he's also written, co-authored, I think, Move Yourself, from the Cooper Clinic Medical Director's Guide to All the Healing Benefits of Exercise. And I happen, you know, Cooper's Clinic has been around, one of kind of the father of aerobic fitness. You know, he kind of got us in that idea. So very highly recommended. And this guy talks about diabetes, and I thought, to me, he explained it really very simply. And so what he says, diabetes is actually a failure of the body to control the amount of sugar in your blood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's very simply, that
And
is
then
it.
he said but I like, this is his quote, but I like to call it a disease of the muscle. And he talked about, because the skeletal muscle is the biggest consumer of sugar in our body. So we want the skeletal muscle to be active so that it can help remove that sugar out of the body. So when the muscle's healthy and moving, it's basically chewing up the sugar. And if it's not, then the sugar is going to remain in the levels, and the body has to get rid of it, and that
So
kind of thing.
why are some people more prone to get diabetes and some aren't? Is it purely a weight kind of and health thing?
No, there's not. My understanding is no, because thin people can get diabetes too. That's not actually. That's not. I think that's probably the biggest misnomer.
Right. I
people
always
think,
thought,
yeah.
especially, you know, if it's not childhood diabetes,
Right.
you know, if it comes onset like later in life,
Right.
I've always associated with, well, you need to lose weight.
Right, correct. And I think that's definitely a part of it. We have what they call now type 1 and type 2 diabetes.
Uh-huh.
Type 1 would be what we used to call juvenile diabetes.
Right.
Type 2 is the adult onset type of thing. And with that, it does seem like it's mostly a obese or overweight population, but it's not necessarily. You can absolutely, one of my really good friends is fighting off diabetes right now, and she is active, and she eats right, and she's healthy, and she's probably 5'8" and a size 8.
So
You know,
why
so
did
she,
that?
I don't know.
Okay, how do you
You've
fight
got
that?
Genetics.
Oh.
Genetics are
Yeah.
part of it. There's only so many things we can do, but what we can do, we absolutely need to do, and that's eating right,
Yes.
exercising, and doing all of that.
But you mentioned Alzheimer's too. Does exercise like help with that? Like
They're
prevent
doing
it, or?
they're doing research on it right now. I don't think you can say by any stretch that it prevents it, but they definitely you know, like we were talking earlier, is that they've seen that the circulation of the blood could possibly benefit or put off
Right.
that.
Well-
But we do know that it fights depression. You know,
Yeah,
people,
that
and
majorly.
that's part of it.
And
Mr.
depression is a big problem. I
Yes.
mean, in this country, and many people suffer from it, and they don't even know they really suffer from
Right.
it. You know, they just feel in a funk, or they don't feel like they can like really enjoy life, and they've never really been diagnosed as having depression.
Yes.
It's just they're not really able to enjoy life.
Right.
I know so many people like that, and so it really can help in that way, just
Right.
to get out there.
Yes, and there's a lot of people who will tell you, in their own, not only in the research, but in their own experience, that exercise really and truly is 90% beneficial in the brain up here,
It is.
because it makes them, you know, they'll say, I go for a walk or a run and I really think about things and I work through issues, and it's kind of, you know, you just kind of
I'm
find
my own
yourself.
personal therapist. when I
Yeah,
run.
exactly. Or you're walking and people are getting that. Well, it does. It does help release possible anxiety or depression. It helps to lift the mood. I mean, it's absolutely been shown that over and over and over. So, yeah, absolutely. And I would think if it can do that for the brain, why wouldn't it help with Alzheimer's and all of that, which is probably where the researchers are looking at,
Right.
and why they're so hot on that topic right
and
now.
Alzheimer's is such a kind of a mystery anyway that
Right.
it's hard to put those two together. But I would think that exercising does help in some way.
Yeah, I would think so. I know
Well,
that
I
it
read
helps me
I
mentally.
read this study that, you know, as you get older, if you don't stay up with like the times, like the computer, like there's a generation that's like I don't really know how to use a computer.
Right.
I don't know how to use a phone. All those things. Using your brain and that muscle and like learning those things and keeping up with what is new and current helps you to stay younger.
Absolutely, I believe
Isn't that interesting?
Again-
I thought that was fascinating.
Again, use it or lose it.
Yeah, so
Right?
that's why like any new thing that comes in now, I'm like, oh my god, okay, I need to learn it because I don't want to be like just not letting that part of my brain kind of like be used, just like going to waste.
Well, there's a website. Dr. Barnard mentioned this a lot, and Dr. Barnard is a medical physician who's on. He's got a public TV show right now, and he's written books, and he's very hot in research for diabetes and heart disease and things like that. And he mentioned the Alzheimer's and how to help prevent or push off. And one of the things he talked about was, I think the website is called Luminosity.
I love that. Oh,
Right?
I love
.com,
that
luminosity.com.
website. Yes.
It's games,
It's
but
games.
it's keeping
It's
your
brain
brain
games.
moving.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
love
It's
it.
exercise
Yes,
for your brain.
luminosity.
See, exercise.
There you go. Right.
Okay, and as our exercise Nazi Crystal says, use it or lose it.
Yeah, that's right.
We're here on Alive and Well, trying to give you ideas on how to use it. Any different form, it's all good. It's all exercise. Get out there and use it. We're on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.